Hello, you are watching AajTak SD, and the results of the Lok Sabha elections are out. And as it was expected and as it was predicted in the exit poll, that BJP will cross 300 mark and the NDA will be forming a government with 400 numbers. But the results so far, the number so far is that BJP has not been able to touch the majority mark also. Their number is something around 240 or 238. और जो एनडीए के जो नंबर्स है दैट इज समथिंग अराउंड 294. नाउ कांग्रेस हैज gained a lot. Now they have almost touched 100. Their number is 99, but the counting is still on. So with me is Liz Mathew, my former colleague, and she is a deputy editor at Indian Express. Liz Mathew has covered this election extensively, and she went to ground also. So let's start this. Liz, first of all, आप मेरे को ये बताओ कि since you cover BJP also और आप ground पे भी गए थे, when the exit poll had predicted 400 for this NDA, आपको लगा था कि मतलब ये नंबर सही है, और what was your understanding of the situation on ground?
See, Nishant, it was very clear that the exit poll, most of them, I would say, were very exaggerated numbers, inflated numbers. हम भी गए थे ground पे, and we have seen also. And see, there was, जैसे I have been maintaining that there was no excitement on the ground. Ground पे ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, but there was no, major. इनके खिलाफ भी ज्यादा कुछ नहीं था. मतलब मोदी जी के खिलाफ ज्यादा मैंने किसी से भी सुना नहीं है ऐसे कि क्रिटिसिज्म और ये बोल रहे कि ज्यादा कर रहे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं सुना है. रादर मैंने ये सुना है कि मोदी जी ठीक है, देश के लिए सही डिसीजन लेते हैं, वो अच्छा प्रधानमंत्री है. That I basically मैंने इसको attributed to there was no kind of a face, a very prominent charismatic face at the opposition. That ये एक कारण था बहुत लोगों को कि दूसरे के बारे में ना सोचने के लिए. वो तो मैंने उनकी बातचीत से मुझे लगा कि वो बोलेंगी ना पसंद है तो भी क्या करें, हम खुश नहीं है लेकिन नाराज नहीं है. लेकिन आपको पता है कि वो एक इनकम्बेंट गवर्नमेंट को ऐसे पलटने के लिए यू नीड नाराजगी, लाइक दैट वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग एंगर यू नीड टू काइंड ऑफ फ्लिप द कॉइन. उतना मैंने देखा नहीं है, स्पेशली व्हेन इट कम्स टू द नेशनल पॉलिटिक्स. स्टेट में किसी से या मुख्यमंत्री से कोई भी नाराज हो सकता है, वो सब अलग है, लेकिन मोदी जी के खिलाफ ऐसे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं था ग्राउंड में, ऐसे कुछ नहीं था. सिर्फ लाइक इनसे there were so many people were not happy but no anger.
And you as a reporter went to ground, और जब इलेक्शन खत्म हुआ, so what was your understanding कि कितना आएगा? क्योंकि जैसे पोस्टर वर्सेस रिपोर्टर्स की बात हो रही कि पोस्टर्स ने तो बहुत ज्यादा ही प्रेडिक्ट कर दिया. As a reporter, how much you had expected?
My range was between 290 only for BJP I'm talking about. I actually didn't go into how much the NDA would bring in, but I thought BJP would bring in like 290 plus 308. This was my number. And 308, like initially I thought it would go beyond, but last week में मैंने सुना है यूपी में नाराजगी, मैंने कुछ रिपोर्ट भी देखा है, कमेंट्स भी पढ़ा है लोगों का, स्पेशली ईस्टर्न यूपी से. तो मुझे लगा कि एक पत्रकार से ऐसे बोलने के लिए लोग हैं तो इसका मतलब थोड़ा तो है. और मैंने बहुत ही अखिलेश और राहुल गांधी का जो ये गठबंधन है उनके बारे में भी मैंने सुना था, तो इसलिए मैंने आई ब्रॉट डाउन द नंबर टू 290. लेकिन मैं सच बोले तो उससे कम बीजेपी को मैंने आई नेवर एक्सपेक्टेड.
So उस हिसाब से तो the result must be shocking for you also, because BJP का जो total number है वो तो majority भी they couldn't touch. But let's talk about the result state wise also, क्योंकि सबसे बड़ा जो setback जो BJP को लगा that was in UP, because state जो है ये 62 2019 से सीधे they are down to something around I think what is the 35 or 36 they have. Abhi.
Yeah, 34. Mid, I mean, like in 30s only, obviously.
Yeah, in 30s only. So
Not
it's a
even.
major loss. Now, UP की अगर बात करें, so where do you think the BJP their strategy went wrong, or क्या हुआ? Candidate selections में problem हुआ, or was that the SP was the Samajwadi Party was more smarter than?
See, Nishad, मैं जब बचपन से मतलब since my school days, I always had this feeling that people in voters in UP and even to an extent Bihar, we would say heartland, they are more political than South people, which is where more literate and more so-called progressiveness. Maybe it's a myth, whatever. So ये हम में जब say if you read history in 77, we have seen after emergency, it was Hindi heartland. The voters in UP and Bihar, they voted they voted the Congress out. Indira Gandhi was defeated even in Raebareli. But Kerala, Karnataka, they all voted for the Congress. So politically, जो sensitivity है, sensibility है, that I have always seen in voters in Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh voters have proved in the past also, you cannot take them for granted. You cannot think that with a mandir or ये दो तीन चीजों से या कुछ communal comments say you cannot just sway them. एक तो इन्होंने they proved it again. So यूपी रिजल्ट्स दो तीन चीजें, एक मतलब चुनाव की नतीजा आने से 2-3 दिन पहले मेरे को 2-3 फोन आया था यूपी से, तो तब उनसे मुझे बीच में ये आ गया कि बीजेपी का जो कैंडिडेट सिलेक्शन वेंट रॉन्ग वेरी बैडली. So apparently their view was that it was kind of a candidate list which is imposed from the center. This is what they were saying. And they did not seek the opinion of the local leadership or even state leadership. That was one reason. And secondly, I think the BJP's hope that all these communities, like see, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ne 2014 or 2019, for whatever reason, whether it could be his message on development, message for good governance, it could be a message on Hindu consolidation, जो भी है, इनका एक इमेज था कि ये कास्ट लाइन से ऊपर उठ चुका था कि दोनों टाइम पे 2014, 2019 पे. तो इस बार तो ये काइंड ऑफ मंडल पॉलिटिक्स वाज बैक in UP, and people started thinking more in terms of caste, like so certain communities were very upset with BJP, and I feel there was a kind of resentment among the upper caste also, like Rajput we have heard because of certain candidate selection in western UP and in some other areas, the Rajputs were very upset, and on top of it there was one statement from a minister in Gujarat about the forward caste. So this, along with their candidate selection in and also I think I have been writing, and because I have been hearing this from many BJP RSS leaders, not the top leaders, or I don't have like top leaders to talk like that. I have heard from many people who are in the know of things that there is a kind of growing disenchantment among the RSS people about the kind of sidelining of the Brahmins in the BJP dispensation and the whole their infrastructure.
Even JP Naidu had recently said that they don't need RSS, and you think that statement also, like RSS was little upset with them and they did not join the campaigning or the booth level working what they do for the BJP usually.
See, being the person who did that interview, I must say that I don't think that Mr. Naidu had meant to that we don't need the RSS, but maybe the words he used, the way he used may not have been the right, or the timing may have been wrong. Whatever, I don't want to say much about it, but I don't think that RSS has completely stayed away from. RSS is not an organization which can behave like that. They might want to kind of restrain, they might want to kind of keep the leaders away from centralizing power into one person or two people or three people. And also they might want to kind of keep the BJP as a wing of the RSS, something which on which and on their leaders they can have influence on, but they will never work against BJP or defeat the BJP candidate. They might not have mobilized people in some areas, maybe like to keep, like the word used, I said, restrain the numbers, and kind of not to let the BJP go to a number where they will feel that okay, we are the power, kind of arrogance. Although the voters, not just RSS people, the voters also did it.
Yeah.
The RSS people and the voters, I don't think that they appreciated this alleged arrogance in the in BJP leaders, across the board. So this is one reason I feel that people have decided either not to vote in favor of BJP or vote against them in Uttar Pradesh and in some other places.
Acha, who all were part of this candidate selection committee or whatever it was for the BJP? Because social media, there were some reports also. I will not call them reports, but there are many gyanis on social media who post so many things. और उसमें ये था कि Adityanath had recommended some 30-35 candidates, and the central leadership had rejected all these candidates. Is there some kind of a power tussle between Yogi Adityanath also and the central leadership? ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
See, not in our knowledge, but of course, when there is a leader who's been there for he's going to be a two-term complete. A chief minister who's completed 2 terms, and there is a central leadership which has also completed 2 terms. So basically, there will be some friction, which is quite natural. But I don't think there is a major issue. But the candidate selection, of course, there could be some candidates where the center leadership may have, I'm sure would have, insisted on, where the local leadership would have objection to. Like, for example, when this the whole issue of this Prajwal Ravana came up, so some BJP leaders have said from Karnataka had said we had warned against this Prajwal Ravana and the JDS alliance. But when I spoke to the leaders, said see, when there is a candidate selection in a particular constituency, there will be hundreds of letters, sometimes hundreds of messages, sometimes to against that particular. So mostly, if it doesn't come from with a solid evidence, the leadership cannot take it very seriously, because it's quite natural that one guy, if there is a very sure seat or a good formidable seat constituency, obviously there will be too many aspirants, and the aspirants could be raising wild allegations again. So that happens sometimes. I wouldn't say that there was no friction, there was no conflict, but I would not say that there is very intense conflict between the two. I would not say either.
Achha, 2 candidates, 2 very shocking results that came. One was, of course, Kishore Lal Sharma winning in Amethi, beating Smriti Irani, who was considered the giant killer last time. And of course, एक तो मोदी की कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में the margin of the defeat that has reduced considerably. Like last time उन्होंने 4 लाख वोट जीते, तो अब वो नंबर कम हो गया. तो एक तो अजय राय भी जो है वो मोदी को ऑलमोस्ट टक्कर दे रहे हैं. इस तरह की चीजें. अपार्ट फ्रॉम कैंडिडेट सिलेक्शन, हाउ कम वाराणसी में मोदी का नंबर इतना कम हो सकता है? ऑफ कोर्स देन अयोध्या में हाउ कैन बीजेपी लूज, बिकॉज पूरा आपका कैंपेन अयोध्या के ऊपर, राम मंदिर के ऊपर, उसके बाद भी अयोध्या में हार गए. हाउ डू यू सी दिस?
Nishant, we know that Ayodhya was not an issue. Ayodhya was not at all an issue in this election. That is the beauty of democracy. See, people differentiated between Lord Ram, and they were very happy. They were excited. They were grateful to the BJP for having the temple finally. they said that after so many years of waiting, it had happened. But they refused to make that as an election issue. They would rather go on issues like price rise, issues like joblessness. That was a major concern among the youth. So the people, and also in the general mood in Uttar Pradesh was against the BJP. So we have seen it. So obviously, even if it is Prime Minister's constituency, because the entire election of the BJP was centered around Prime Minister Modi, so it was natural for him to also face little, brunt of the people's anger in a constituency like Varanasi. So, like I also mentioned, the Brahmins, the anchor, the upper caste anchor. So in Varanasi also, they have a lot of influence. And in Ayodhya also, you may have seen the quotes from the people today in today's newspapers and today's reports today. They said that we were kept out, and it has become a tourist place, and people from outside, it was a place for Ayodhya, has become a place for outsiders. So they kind of express their anger. It doesn't mean that they are going to be eternally angry with the BJP or they are ungrateful. Nothing like that. The people, when they want to teach a lesson for when you are trying to be arrogant, when you are trying to be trying to take them for granted, the voters always deliver the message. The Congress had faced it several times. Very tall leaders like Indira Gandhi, who won a war against Pakistan, had faced that. So obviously anybody in the present and anybody in future would definitely face that kind of anger. So that Brahmin factor and the upper caste factor, I think, because more than the vote, may not be more in numbers, but of course they influence a lot of voters. It happened in Uttar Pradesh, there is no doubt about it.
Okay, moving from Uttar Pradesh now, again, one state where BJP was expecting कि उनके numbers ज़्यादा आएंगे, that was West Bengal. और West Bengal में, like last time they won 18 seats and now they are down to 10 seats. और Mamata Banerjee has gained considerably. Where do you think, before the election, this whole Sandesh Khali row happened? और बहुत सारी चीजें थी, but still, why do you think that BJP could not, gain further in Bengal?
See, I think, I actually, to be very honest, I haven't gone very deeply into what happened in West Bengal. I think it is more like, of course, they were anti-incumbency against the Mamata government, but the people wanted to express their anger towards this Bengalis are very particular about their culture and their lifestyle. I think the general hype over Prime Minister Modi and the general hype over this 400 par and the general impression that the entire opposition is going to be weak and there is no opposition, it is not going to even exist. Such things have definitely affect the voting and influence the voters in West Bengal. I think that I told this overwhelming centralization of power, and also you dismiss the entire opposition. You try to kind of reduce them to or push them to a corner. So this kind of approach, and we have seen this the most intense campaign in West Bengal, and the word this washing machine culture has kind of originated from there. And people did not take it kindly, and the election they proved the anger for that kind of onslaught on the opposition, and also an effort to kind of take over everything. That was they reacted to it very badly in their choices for Lok Sabha. This is what my initial assumption.
Okay, but we'll come to South also. Before that, we'll talk about Maharashtra. Maharashtra, for last 5 years, we have seen so much happening. Eknath Shinde, they have BJP had bifurcated section, and Eknath Shinde had come to join the BJP government. फिर शरद पवार की पार्टी को भी तोड़ के अजीत पवार इधर आ गए हैं. Do you think all this thing went against the BJP in Maharashtra?
Of course, it has. There was a sympathy factor, of course. But in politics, Nishant, sympathy alone will not work. You need some other anchor. So obviously, there was anchor for handling of the. I mean, for the during the anchor kind of. They could gather the people's support during the Maratha agitation, and I think the way the Maharashtra, the BJP in Maharashtra broke the two parties. Like both Sharad Pawar's party and Uddhav Thackeray's party. And, I think if it was just Uddhav Thackeray's party, it wouldn't have been so bad. But when it extended to even Sharad Pawar's party, and these two leaders like Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar, whatever said and done, these are the people who always there for the Maharashtrians. They always pick their course, whether it was Shiv Sena and whether it was NCP. NCP, although it has MLAs and MPs outside Maharashtra, also it is a kind of a Maharashtra party, and Shiv Sena also it's the same. So the people have a soft corner for them, and they did not like the way these two parties were kind of it was like like I mentioned yesterday, it was like chopping off one arm of Sharad Pawar when they took away Ajit Pawar. Sharad Pawar used to rely on him politically in Maharashtra for a lot, because Sharad Pawar was more, concentrating his works at the national level. Maharashtra was kind of handled by Ajit Pawar. Before that, it was Uddhav Thackeray who trusted his people, and he had a kind of bonding with them, and somebody who went, who just broke away, pulling down the government. People did not take it kindly, and they kind of, and also, like I said, it was coupled with the general anchor, and again, some ticket distribution, the candidate selection, which people there would say that attribute it to the internal party rift. That also, like the some way the top state leaders are trying to kind of corner a certain section in the party, which also kind of played out in the election results.
Okay. Now talking about South India, of course, BJP has opened its account in your home state, Kerala. One seat finally, and of course they couldn't win any seat in Tamil Nadu, but they had voter share has improved. BJP's voter share improved to the Tamil Nadu, and of course they have performed considerably well in Telangana and Andhra also. How do you see BJP's performance in South?
Yeah, it was impressive, but I wouldn't. I mean, in terms of vote, it did very well. See, Kerala, I would not make any comment now saying that BJP has open account in Kerala, because BJP had open account in Assembly in 2016, but it didn't work well. See, BJP had almost 16+ % vote in the past also, but they couldn't, consistently grow there. So I would give it to BJP in Kerala only if they kind of sustain it. Suresh Gopi is a film actor. He had, and there are several reasons in that particular constituency to kind of for Suresh Gopi to win in the last minute. But going by the work, Rajiv Chandrasekhar had given a better performance in terms of campaign, and very positive campaign. I'm not saying that Gopi had a negative campaign, but I'm saying he presented himself, and people look at Mr. Chandrasekhar as a more formidable candidate. But of course, he had very less time in Trivandrum to campaign. Also, Tharoor had the community combination in Kerala, that particular constituency, Thiruvananthapuram, also kind of favored Tharoor. So I would wait for BJP's growth, to wait to see how BJP is growing, in the whether it is consistent in Kerala to say that they kind of opened it accounts in Kerala. Yeah, come to Karnataka, we know that BJP, it is a very strong bastion of BJP in the south, or only bastion so far, and but still they lost seats, and it was very surprising that they lost so many seats, because during the state campaign, I had heard people saying that this state election is for Congress, but we will vote for Modi, and there was an overwhelming section who wanted to vote for Modi in the Lok Sabha election, and he obviously the BJP is not a stranger to the Karnataka people. So Karnataka was not a very pleasing story for BJP. Come to Tamil Nadu, they did not win a single seat despite a lot of effort, despite the personal effort made by Prime Minister Modi. They did not win a single seat. That is very disappointing for the party. But of course, they can claim that they have a vote percentage. But in that vote percent, I don't know whether it is consistent. Whether there is a lot of admiration and popularity for Prime Minister Modi. So whether these votes, polled by the BJP in Tamil Nadu is a vote for Modi or not for BJP, we have to wait and see.
But
Telangana, of course.
Annamalai factor also did not play out much for the BJP.
Yes, of course, he also helped the BJP to be in the talking point, and he, of course, BJP could win this kind of, percentage vote because Annamalai. Otherwise, it's just like Kerala also, what it lacks is a leader, a very leader who can capture the imagination. If they had a leader like Annamalai, I'm sure they would have done better in Kerala.
Okay.
And Telangana, of course, BJP had shown signs of improvement in terms of vote percentage in the assembly election, despite that the fight had become a kind of fight between the Congress and the BRS. Yeah. BJP had given a good fight, and the number has almost doubled. It is doubled, the 4 to 8. So that's not a bad story. And BJP had been working hard in Telangana, and since that Hyderabad municipal election where they kind of managed almost 40% of votes, so it is been doing well, but it was up and down. So Telangana, I think, more or less consistent unless BRS make a major comeback. BRS is now in a very bad condition. It is unlikely to come up immediately, but of course they have their own network, they can come up. So if BRS fail to come back, the BJP will continue to be the main opposition for Congress in Telangana. Then Andhra, of course, it was riding on the wings of Chandrababu Naidu, who made it big in both of the alliance.
Okay, so now it is clear that BJP will have to be dependent on their alliance partner, because it's not the single party government to have any. So now, how do you see this government is going to work? And of course, there are many, speculation, apprehension about Nitish Kumar also, because he is known as the Palturam, and people are saying he might again go back to the India alliance. How do you see this? Will Nitish Kumar remain in BJP? Because Naidu has cleared today only that the TDP is going to stay with the NDA, but speculation people are still doubting Nitish Kumar. What do you have to say about that?
See, speculation is very justified because both Naidu and Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar have had a history of past record of flipping. Naidu was part of the socialist group in the 90s, and then he moved towards the end of 90s. He moved to Atal Bihari Vajpayee's NDA, and he had played a very key role there. Then he was part of NDA till 2018. Then he parted ways with BJP over the issue of special status for Andhra. So then again he's now back, and he has been trying to come back to NDA fold for some time, but BJP was resisting, of course, because of kind of friendly ties with YSRCP in Andhra Pradesh. Finally, they took a call for the larger interest, quote unquote, they say larger interest. I'm talking from the BJP side, it was larger interest. But we have seen Naidu criticizing Prime Minister Modi very harshly. We have seen BJP, especially Amit Shah, criticizing Mr. Naidu very.
But this is also being
sadly.
said that Naidu has learned a lesson because people of Andhra doesn't want Naidu to like ally with the Congress party because there is an anger against Congress in Andhra. So it is like Naidu might not go with the Congress, but Nitish Kumar pe doubt hai.
No, that's not true. Actually, Congress's problem in Andhra Pradesh, it is like because of the bifurcation of the state, that is.
Yeah.
But Telangana, when Congress was decimated, Congress was nothing, but the Congress made a comeback. See, that belt, the Congress still has some kind of goodwill. Even in Andhra, Congress still have. But the problem with the Congress was that they just had a good PCC president and they were not working properly. If the Congress work hard, there is nothing that people will not forget. We have seen when it comes to BJP how people, the Congress party had won power in Punjab after 1984 riots. So there is nothing permanent like that. So if what in politics what you lack is if you are not becoming a kind of, or if you are coming back to a place where you were at power, it is lack of your strategy, absence of good strategy, lack of good leadership, and a robust organization strength. So once if Congress can manage that, there is nothing that will go against Congress or something in Andhra also, and I don't think that that will stop. And of course, he has if he has numbers, he has 5 years, so there is nothing that stops Naidu from flipping side and can be India bloc any day. But of course, there is a gentleman's agreement, that you fought election together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, unlike the other party ill treat you. Unlike you have a very good reason to justify your flipping. You cannot do that because you are answerable to people also.
Yeah.
You sought vote in terms of like alliance.
Yeah. Two things I want to know. Liz, what would be the negotiation of TDP and JDU, Nitish Kumar, with the center that they stick together with the NDA for next 5 years? And then secondly, of course, what will happen to the BJP's ambitious plan of, their one nation, one election, uniform civil code? अब इनको like allies पे अपने बहुत depend रहना होगा. How do you see these two things? एक तो negotiation factor between TDP and
Nishant, I don't know what exactly they are going to negotiate, but of course there will be demands. It is quite normal for them to have a coordination panel or a committee. There should be a convener. There should be frequent communication between the alliance, between the big party and the smaller parties, and there could be a common minimum program. There, where like in the past where you kind of kept aside your contentious issues. So when it comes to BJP's key agenda, like one is this one nation, one election, which BJP would have pushed immediately after they come to, if they had won a clear majority, like 300 plus, they would have pushed. But TDP was not in favor of it. So they will have to wait. Not just TDP, in parliament composition, the Lok Sabha composition also has changed. It is not like a one-sided, you are all more than 200 people sitting out again. And there is Congress almost 100, and there is Samajwadi Party, there is Trinamool Congress with the 30s numbers. So it is very impossible, and all these parties had opposed to this concept of one nation, one election. So it is kind of going to be kind of in cold storage for a while, unless BJP made some effort to kind of evolve a consensus over it. Unlikely. In the similar story is with the UCC, Uniform Civil Code, and actually even many of the no reform can be pushed so easily, whether it is social reform, whether it is economic reform. Modi government will not be able to push without. And even the appointment of ministers, they will have to discuss with the partners, because alone, if it is 275 for BJP, at least they could afford certain things. But it's not that. The moment you antagonize one of them, you will have to face the test and face the air of these allies. And both Naidu and Nitish Kumar, both of them are Naidu is a very crafty, very sharp, shrewd politician. He has worked with both the alliance. He is so experienced, so you cannot take him for granted. And he's not a cakewalk for anybody. The same with Nitish Kumar. He has, as you being a person from Bihar, you know that how much humiliation he has faced. So he and his party would not forget that also. So they will act quote unquote pricey according to some BJP leaders. So it is not a good, smooth, beautiful road ahead for BJP, and it is going to be a very tough road. And it is not like that disciplined one, machine. It's not going to work like that.
Because many had believed कि India Alliance छोड़ने के पीछे नीतीश कुमार का reason ही था, because he was not being made the PM face of the India Alliance. So I don't know if India Alliance offers something substantial for the...
Yeah, I don't know whether he still nurses that dream of becoming prime minister or something, because a lot of issues he has. But of course, he will seek his pound of flesh in this game.
Okay. Chalo. Thanks, Liz. Thanks for giving your time, and thanks for all the information and analysis.
Okay.
Thank you. It was great talking to you.